Hi, this is Gail with Gail's Southern Living. So I'm having a bad day today. I started out with a good day. I made my shout out video. I was listening to Yogi Hollow Farms live with Country Mama Musings. And so I went out to feed the chickens. And all the older chickens had started molting. So I put the two younger chickens by themselves so that they would lay some eggs, because I thought, well, maybe if they're being pressured, they'll lay if they're by themselves, and at least we'll get the 2 eggs a day since they're molting and we haven't really been getting a lot of eggs. So I went out today and I fed the big group of chickens. And then I went over to open the side door where Rusty and Boots were. And I poured down the can of food. And I noticed that Rusty was not going straight for the food. And I was like, that's weird. And then I noticed that Boots wasn't really walking around. So I went around to the front door, because I was at the side panel, and I saw Boots laying in the corner, and Boots didn't move, and Rusty was just pacing back and forth, looking really upset and nervous, and so I figured out that Boots had passed away last night. And it didn't really have anything to do with them being separated. My main objective was to try to get Rusty out of there, because she looked very upset. So after several attempts to get her out of there, I finally got her to come out to free range. And then she was pacing back and forth on the fence, and I finally grabbed her and put her in with the other chickens. So I called my husband, and of course I want him to come home and bury Boots. And he's going to have to wait because, you know, he's at work. So I was happy I at least got Rusty out of there, because I didn't want her to have to deal with that. That's like her best friend, because I got those 2 chickens at the same time. So they're like paired together all the time. So of course now I'm worried about Rusty, because she doesn't have her friend anymore. But Rusty is a little bit more outgoing and more like trying to get her food and stuff. So I'm not as worried about Rusty because she's more outgoing. But what I think happened is that she was egg bound, because I told my husband, I said, because she had a very distinct dark brown color to her eggs, and because she's a French black Marin, it was like a dark brown, but it was totally different from the other brown eggs that we have. So I knew exactly which egg was hers, and she had laid probably 4 or 5 eggs, and maybe more. And then I noticed that the eggs stopped, her eggs specifically stopped showing up, because they were a very distinct color. And so I believe possibly, after talking with my husband today, I believe possibly that she was egg bound, and that's what happened to her. And that has happened to one of my chickens before. And maybe there's something I should have done. Maybe I should have identified this before. I don't know. I'm just the constantly blaming things on myself kind of person. I'm trying to keep from crying right now, because I always blame everything on myself. So Boots is gone. And it's sad. I don't like death. But at least I got Rusty out of there, so she doesn't have to sit there and look at her little chicken buddy laying there dead. So I could tell that, you know, so she's in the small part of the coop and the door's shut, so nothing, you know, no animals or anything can get to her until it's time for her to be buried, which will be when my husband gets home. So at least she's not, you know, having to stare at her all day. So hopefully Rusty will be okay without her. So anyway, that's what happened this morning. That's what happened to me. All right, well, you guys have a great day, and say prayers for me to handle this well, and later, guys.